Now we will go through all of the sections of the N400 citizenship application: personal information, residence, work, absences, trips out of the United States, family, membership and moral character, taxes and arrests, and allegiance to the United States. First, you will hear 2 or 3 people responding to questions from these areas. Then it will be your turn. Practice what you will say if you are asked any of our questions. Do you want to change your name? Do you still have the same address? How long have you lived at your current address? What is your date of birth? What is your phone number with the area code? When were you admitted as a lawful permanent resident? Is that a house or apartment? How long have you lived there? What was your previous address? Do you intend to live permanently in the United States?
Now is your turn to answer some questions. Are you ready? Do you still work for the same company? Are you working now? What is the name of your employer? How long have you worked there? What do you do?
Okay, let's try some other work questions. Are you working now? Does your spouse work? What kind of work does he or she do? Who was your last employer? How long did you work there?
Now is your turn to answer some questions. Are you ready? How many times have you been out of the United States since you got your alien registration card? Since you mailed your application for citizenship, have you been out of the United States? When was the last time you left the country? When did you return? What was the reason for your trip? Have you ever been out of the United States for more than 6 months? Now is your turn to answer some questions. Are you ready? What is your marital status? How many times have you been married? How many children do you have? Were they born in the United States? Do they live with you? Is your husband or wife a permanent resident?
Now it's your turn to answer some questions. Are you ready? Have you ever been a member of the Communist Party? Have you ever been a habitual drunkard or had problems with alcohol? Have you ever been a trafficker in narcotic drugs or marijuana? Have you ever been a prostitute or procured anyone for prostitution? Have you ever claimed in writing or in any other way to be a U.S. citizen? Have you ever helped an alien to enter the U.S. illegally? Have you ever voted in the United States? Are you going to vote when you become a citizen?
Do you pay your taxes every year? Do you owe any federal taxes? When was the last time you filed your federal income tax return? Have you ever been arrested? Have you ever been stopped by the police? How many tickets have you received? Fine.
Now it's your turn. Are you ready? Do you believe in the U.S. Constitution? What is the U.S. Constitution? Do you believe in our form of government? What form of government do we have? If the law requires it, are you willing to bear arms on behalf of the United States? Are you willing to take the full oath of allegiance to the United States? Do you know what an oath is? The people on this tape are community volunteers or students and staff from the Salinas Adult School who have volunteered their time. Some of their names and personal information has been changed to protect their privacy and to help make the video easy to understand. The INS citizenship interview usually takes about 10 to 15 minutes. Most of the questions you will be asked are taken from the 10-page N400 citizenship application form that you mailed in. You should keep a copy, take it to your citizenship class, and study it carefully. The reason that INS asks so many personal questions is first, to make sure you meet all of the eligibility requirements. Second, to see if you can understand and speak basic English. Third, to find out if there are any changes since you mailed your citizenship application. And fourth, to see if you are telling the truth. Additionally, you will be asked from 3 to 25 questions from the INS list of 100 history and government questions. You may also be asked to read one or more sentences or questions in English. Finally, you will be asked to write 1 or 2 sentences of dictation. In some INS offices, you are asked personal questions first. In others, you are asked government and history questions first. Although the interview is oral, you don't need to speak English perfectly in order to pass your test. Also, if you have any disability such as vision or hearing problems, you may be entitled to request an accommodation or disability waiver. There are some exceptions to the English requirement. If you are over 50 and have had your green card for more than 20 years, or if you are over 55 and have had your green card for more than 15 years, you can ask to be interviewed in your first language. Also, if you are over 65 and have been a permanent resident for more than 20 years, the INS will select 10 questions from a list of only 25 history and government questions, and you must answer 6 correctly. The interview may take longer than 10 or 15 minutes if any of these things apply to you. You want to change your name. You were arrested. You are divorced. You or your spouse have been married before. Mistakes are found on your N400 form. You have made changes in your address, work, or family situation. Other information you provided on your N400 application form has changed. The next section has questions about your family. Part 8 of the N400 has questions about your husband or wife, and Part 9 of the N400 has questions about your children. If you are single and have no children, you will only have 1 or 2 questions. When asking about your children, they are referring to all children, including those that have died, adopted children, and children living anywhere in the world. If you or your spouse have been married more than one time, you need to fill out section F and/or G. At the time of the interview, you should bring your divorce certificate and the marriage certificate to your present spouse. You should be prepared to answer questions about your past and present spouses. If you married someone or had children with someone before their divorce was final, a simple and truthful explanation may be all you need, but you should consult an attorney.